In the last 4 weeks, we've journeyed all the way from Jakarta to Bali, travelling by train, taking in the sights and scenes of Indonesia. Our journey took us through cities like Jakarta, Yogyakarta, Surabaya and Banyuwangi, with Bali being our final stop. And as the sun set in our time in Indonesia, we prepared for our next leg of the journey to Vietnam. However, before leaving from Denpasar airport, we decided to relax at the Concordia Lounge. In this video, I'll take you inside to show you some of the facilities, what I've enjoyed, and some things that I thought could be improved. From Denpasar Airport in Bali, we chose to fly with Vietjet all the way to Hanoi. If you don't know, Vietjet has a pretty bad reputation in Southeast Asia, and since it was my first time flying with them, I didn't really have any high hopes. In fact, there's a joke here that says, if you're flying with Vietjet, make sure you get there half an hour after your departure time because that's when they'll actually start boarding. With this in mind, we actually got to the airport a little bit earlier before our scheduled departure, just in case of any issues. Now, back to the lounge. In Denpasar Airport, there are 2 Concordia lounges for some reason. One in domestic and the other in international departures. The domestic lounge has terrible reviews on Google, but I couldn't find the Google page for the international lounge, so I wasn't sure what to expect. This lounge is part of the Priority Pass scheme, so you have an Amex or a credit card that has these benefits, it's worth checking if you have access. Otherwise, it costs around $35 to enter, and it's open every day from 6 AM to 2 AM. There are also 2 other lounges in international departures, but this was the only one that was included in the Priority Pass scheme, so this is the one we decided to try out. The lounge itself is really nice and well designed, and the seating area is thoughtfully arranged. There's a lot of power outlets around most seats, and you can either choose to sit on these high chairs or green couches or these cozy little booths, all of which seem pretty comfortable. But the lounge is really small, so I can see it getting cramped on a really busy day, but thankfully when we visited it was pretty calm, as you can see, with only a handful of people coming and going during our 2-hour stay. If you're planning to do some work, there is Wi-Fi available, but I wouldn't really count on it. The speed wasn't too great. The temperature was also pretty good as well. It wasn't too hot and it wasn't too cold. And the reason I mention this is because it's a complaint that I've seen in the other Concordia Lounge in Bali's departure area. The lounge has its own toilet facilities, which is convenient, but I didn't see any showers during our visit. When it comes to food and drink, the options are pretty average for a lounge. Everything is laid out on a central island with a selection of cakes, sweet treats, and other savoury sort of stuff. You can also have drinks like infused water, various juices, teas and coffees, and also soft drinks which are stocked in the fridges below. The hot food selection was limited, with not many options available. If you're vegetarian or vegan, this might be an issue. There's also a salad and fruit bar at the end of the counter, which, even though I didn't try it myself, it looked pretty decent and pretty fresh. Throughout our stay at the lounge here, these were always consistently stocked and we never saw anything run out. Given the tight turnaround we experienced at Denpasar Airport, I'm not sure if the $35 entry fee is worthwhile for most people. Even if you arrive early, you might only have 1 to 2 hours to spend in the lounge, which could be overkill for some people. But if you're part of a scheme like Priority Pass, the Concordia Lounge can be alright, but only if it's quiet. The lounge is small, and whilst it's nice and presentable, the food is pretty average, and the distance from the gate means that you've got to plan your stay quite meticulously to ensure that you've got enough time to reach your gate without rushing. I know it was a bit of a quicker video, but I hope you found this useful, and if you have any other lounges that you recommend for me to visit, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching Why Not Ash.
Hey Slides, what you doing?